What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Keto Rewind. I am Jess, and today is a week 176 update of my keto journey, my story of how I have been rewinding my health from a morbidly obese weight to a healthy weight, living a ketogenic lifestyle. So I thought today's video will be a good recap of the past couple of days, and also some easy keto recipes, and also the plan for the week. So what do you say we jump into today's video? And before I jump in today's video, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Element Electrolytes. Element Electrolytes is a science-backed ratio of electrolytes. So you're getting 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. Without all the sugar, without all the fillers, it's gluten-free, like no artificial flavors, colors, and that kind of thing. Just everything you need and nothing you don't. I've been using these electrolytes for a while. They're actually my go-to electrolyte. I don't typically promote keto products, but I do find a need for supplements specifically for those of us living a ketogenic lifestyle, low-carb lifestyle. You can get dehydrated real easy living this way because you don't retain water. So that's why I will do 1 packet of electrolytes with a 32-ounce bottle of water. I will sip on that throughout my workout. Even if I don't work out, I'll sip on it throughout the day. This way, it's bridging those gaps between my eating windows. It's just a real easy way to stay on track and stay hydrated and ward off any of that dizziness, weakness, the muscle cramps, the fatigue, and just keep going. And right now I have a promo for you. This promo is that you can use it as often as you want, or as many times as you want, but it's only available with my special link. So use this link down below. Right now, Element is offering my listeners a free sample pack with any order. That's 8 single serving packets free with any Element order. This is a great way to try all the 8 flavors. You can use that link down below. It's drinkelement.com/keto rewind. That's DRINKLMNT.com/keto rewind. Now let's get back to the video. So first things, it's obviously, the lighting is not very good in today's video. It is yucky and rainy and cold and all of those things, so that just doesn't make for good lighting. And I have not found my ring light because I'm still unpacking and getting settled. So, but at the same time, it's like, whatever, it is what it is. The show must go on. So, but the next thing is I have been trying to film everything that I've been eating to stay on track, because as you know, this is an environment, when you have a lake house, all of your lake friends, all the, the previous year's traditions of just celebrating with food and alcohol and, vacations and all that those things, it just is so easy to get off track. So my personal goal is to go home back to Texas at the end of the 6 weeks here and be smaller than when I came up. I'm not saying I want to be like 50 pounds smaller, but my personal goal is, it's a victory for me if I can go home smaller than when I came up here. So, which is a steep goal, but again, goals only work unless you do. So with that said, I have been trying to basically, we've been here a week now. We've met up with our old friends and family. The newness of being in the new place is wearing off, and it's back to, life as usual. So that means lots of meal planning, lots of grocery shopping, lots of trying to move my body when the weather's great. And that's exactly what I did. So we'll talk about the easy stuff first. With a bunch of my friends, we walked around the lake. Something we always do here with scenic mountain and lake views. I mean, the weather here is perfect. It doesn't get any better than that. And then obviously walking and talking with your friends makes that 3.5 mile trip go by like that. So you know what they say, pictures or it didn't happen. There was a couple of days where, stores are really far. So going into town and back, just the travel time is an hour, not including the stores or any other time while you're in town. So couple of those days we had to plan lunch while we go into town. So we went to a really nice restaurant here that we had the overlooking mountain views, and I had a burger salad. So that's one cool thing about eating keto. As much as I want to talk myself out of, well, there's no keto options when we go out to restaurants, there always is some type of an option for you. So a burger with a side salad is an easy keto lunch, and it's usually my go-to meal when we go out. And then I had it with a sparkling water. No big deal, you know, lunch served, done, move on. So one of the meals we had in the past couple of days or since my last video is a keto chicken stir fry. I have a bunch of random vegetables in that were fresh. I wanted to use them up. And when you're making a stir fry, the cool thing about stir fry is there's no right or wrong answer. So I diced up some peppers and onions and some chicken, threw it all in a pan, sauteed it, then threw some, like a bag of coleslaw mix in there and let that come down and get crispy. And then I threw a bunch of the Kung Pao chicken sauce on top to season it up, and it was literally dinner in about 15 minutes. It doesn't get any easier than that, and that's why there's no excuses. This is why I'm making the point to do this kind of easy keto recipes, because they exist, you know, it's not hard. And then we had a cookout with our neighbors, and instead of, you know, choosing all these crazy recipes I could possibly bring that would get me off track, I was like, you know, I just made turkey chili, let's make a turkey chili. It's a crowd pleaser, it's a keto, it's gluten-free. I mean, it just about hits all the boxes regardless of what diet you're on. So I brought my turkey chili, and then yesterday for dinner, my mom had some turkey burgers that she'd made while she was in Texas, formed them in the patties, you know, used the food saver and stored them nicely, brought them up here frozen. So when you're swimming all day and enjoying the water, the last thing you want to do is get out and cook. So this was something that was, the turkey burgers were already made, just gonna pop them on the grill. And then because it's summer squash casserole is one of the best ways to enjoy a side in summer. So you just dice up, I've made this before, I'll link the recipe down below. You're just gonna dice up a bunch of squash, yellow squash, zucchini, a green pepper, you know, an onion. Throw that all together, throw some cream cheese and some cheddar cheese and bake it. I mean, it's a really easy recipe, and it's delicious and tried and true. So that was an easy dinner, and that brings me to today. So with that said, let's talk about the plan for the week. Now, I was trying to think about what I want to do to make things a little bit challenging to keep me on track. Not only am I filming and showing all the food that I'm eating, I also need to dial in serving or portion sizes. So one of the things that helps me do that is tracking my macros. So as much as I hate tracking my macros and having that tedious extra step, it is one more way for me to visually see I'm on track, I'm eating what I'm supposed to be eating, you know, and being accountable for what goes in my mouth. So that is something that I thought I would add this week. I may do it the whole time I'm up here, I'm not sure yet, but right now, for this week, I'm gonna be tracking macros. And obviously, when you track your macros, it's one of the best ways to really look at what you're doing and make sense of it all. Because sometimes it's really easy to hit, say, fat, but really hard to hit protein. Well, now you're like, well, I'm short in protein, I'm high in fat, what can I do? Oh, that would be a lean source of protein, like a chicken breast, a turkey breast, you know, a sirloin steak, you know, something with very, very minimal fat. This way you're not really tapping into your fat macros that you may have overdone earlier parts in the day, and you're still able to tap into adding to your protein macros to make your little pie chart perfect. And then the other thing is, it's also a good way to visually see what 5 ounces of chicken looks like. What does a serving of nuts look like? You know, that kind of thing. Just a really good eye-opening way to see what makes up your food. and it also, for me, my issue is always portion size. I'm usually on the error of too much. And just being able to trust my body is something that I always struggle with. That feeling of, I don't want to be hungry, so if I eat enough here, I won't be hungry later. But I'm not trusting my body's telling me, okay, you've had enough, you know, so maybe if I visually see on paper that I've had enough, maybe I'll believe it, you know, that kind of thing, so I won't overeat. Or, you know, it's just one of the other hurdles in my journey. So if it isn't eating too much, it's too often, or, you know, just the excess. So by doing this, I'll just dial it down and make sure that I am getting what I need to get and not the excessive amounts. So, and at some point, you know, as you get better at tracking, then you get the confidence again, okay, all right, this is really all I need right here. I don't need a plate like this, as long as everything fits into your macros. So another easy thing about eating this way is I'm not doing all the packaged style stuff. You know, like I am literally just eating vegetables, some fruits, and some protein and some healthy fat. Like nothing really packaged, nothing processed. So it's real easy to enter it into Carb Manager. And the easier it is, the less complicated it is, and the easier it is to replicate, you know. And if I typically are going to be eating the same breakfast all week, well, I really only have to log it once to know that that's what I'm having for breakfast, kind of thing. So anyways, with all that said, that is my plan for this week. And I did want to say one last point before I head off. Just because it's summer does not mean that you give up on your weight loss goals. Summer is a great time to get in on your weight loss goals, because a lot of the summer vegetables and stuff, or even the fruits that are available, you know, like berries, are really delicious this time of year. So it's one of those things where, you know, just, it doesn't matter. There will be no perfect time to start a weight loss journey or to tighten it up and finish that weight loss journey. So, but speaking of berries, a lot of the local farms here have blueberries, blackberries, strawberries, everything that's fresh picked here. They're little, they're just delicious little treats. Because you're on a ketogenic lifestyle or low carb does not mean you can't have berries. You know, granted, you should see what a half cup of berries looks like and just pick at that. But the same reason is, just because you're low carb doesn't mean you can't have those things. So I personally enjoy berries in the summer. I'm more of a seasonal type person. While I love berries in general, I typically just have them in the summer. You know, in the winter months, I aim more towards like the winter squashes, that kind of thing, and eat more of a seasonal approach. So that's just something I've never really talked about before, but you were gonna see some strawberries. And speaking of strawberries, my mom has the kids next door making strawberry jam. So let's go check out that while we're at it. What you doing?
We're making strawberry. Yeah,
Strawberry
jam.
With local strawberries. This is what a local strawberry looks like. They're really not like what you get in the supermarket. This is what they're supposed to look like, and this is what they're supposed to taste like. Because we don't make jam out of the supermarket ones.
No.
Look at this.
Fresh picked from the local farms.
9 quarts. Probably gonna make a dozen pints.
Ooh.
Are you out? Here, we got some more.
I don't know why, but I just took the rest. I like grabbing
That's okay.
like a lot and then just like putting all the bottom parts in a pile.
And we preserve these, you know, and the way that I do it.
And how are you sweetening them?
We sweeten them with Boca. We use our natural sugars. And I don't even use pectin because I have been doing this for years. You don't need the pectin. What I do, and it just intensifies the sweetness, is I cook these down a bit before I even add any of our sugar to them. So at least I know what I'm working with before I add the sugar. So we clean them, we boil them down, mash them a little bit, because we like a hearty jam. And then we'll add our sweetener to them. And then I water bath can them. And the guidelines I go by are the USDA guidelines, and they say to water bath them for 10 minutes. So see, the water is starting to come up in the canner. And then my pans.
Here, open that again. Okay, cool.
The rings and lids now just need to be washed and air dried. And my jaws are in the dishwasher being sanitized. And so you hot pack, and then they're processed for 10 minutes. You shut it off, you let it cool down, and then you take your jaws out, and they should seal. And that's it.
So what do I personally use strawberry jam on? Well, you don't always need breads. You can be very creative. Sometimes you just need that little extra. Make a cheesecake, drizzle some of that jam on top. Cottage cheese with strawberries drizzle. I mean, cottage cheese is high in protein. As long as you don't get the ones that's filled with all the stuff, just a plain cottage cheese, it's a really healthy breakfast option if you get egged out. So drizzle some strawberry jam on top. Also, PSMF angel food cake, there's a load of recipes for that. So you could use that as your angel food cake for your summer barbecues. So there's lots of ways to be creative and to use a strawberry jam, even though you're doing a ketogenic lifestyle. So, but again, minimally processed, it's fresh, it's local, you know, it's full of antioxidants. I'm not gonna sweat a strawberry, you know, or a blueberry. Also, strawberry rhubarb pie, a cobbler, you know, those kind of things. There's a million keto recipes out there that are really good. So anyways, it just feels good to be back on track, and I'm going to continue filming what I'm eating for you guys this week, and also tracking macros and all that stuff. So I will catch you at the next one. I am Jess, you're watching Keto Rewind. Bye-bye!